The Milwaukee Bucks are just under 2 months away from tipping off the NBA season, and the newest version of NBA 2K25 has just been released. So where do the Milwaukee Bucks stand in the rankings in this year's game? I'm Jake Finnerty, and welcome on into Bucks Digest. If you want to keep it locked on all things Milwaukee Bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I know it's been a while, but don't you worry. You hit that subscribe button. 90% of our people are not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. You'll get everything up to date on all Milwaukee Bucks content. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Would help out the channel a lot. I would really appreciate that. But 2K25, happy release day to all that play. Now, we really dive in to see what the teams are all about. What NBA 2K has done to our rosters, to our teams, and what are we looking at? What with the best squads and such. And of course, here on Bucks Digest, what are the Milwaukee Bucks looking like within the game? So let's just start it off. This is kind of what we're looking at, considered a tier 1 team with an 83 overall. As you can see, those stats kind of just overall grade of the team. The defense, of course, looks a little low. Shockingly, they are still top 10 defensively within the game. All of these rankings are coming from 2kratings.com as well. But overall, I mean, a tier 1 team, not really anything that I'm shocked about. They should be a tier 1 team, especially in these active rosters. An 83 overall does seem a little low for an overall, but hey, what can you say? Because this is what we're looking at with all of the teams within NBA 2K. The Milwaukee Bucks being the 8th team, the 8th best team overall wise. Which also, you're kind of looking at it as these teams overall, but then the tiering system is a bit stagnant within that. The Bucks by far are a tier 1 team. The Pacers are technically ahead of them. Should that be the case? No, not at all. I don't think the Pacers should be ahead of them, regardless of the status of beating them in the playoffs. Not full strength. Doesn't matter to me. So you look at that a little bit here in the Boston Celtics, just being the best team overall compared to everyone else, which, hey, the Bucks are going to be there, but I'm not denying where they have the Celtics right now. So kind of diving in, what is making up this Milwaukee Bucks roster? What are we looking at for our top 5 players, or our starting 5? So I guess it would be more of a top 5 here in this regard, with Giannis being the best player. Of course, what a shock. With a 97 overall, Damian Lillard being the second, dropping 5% overall in the game this year. An 89, and I'll get into that a little bit later. I've got a large gripe with that. Chris Middleton staying put, 85. Bobby Portis being an 80 overall this year, as well as Brook Lopez. So those are the Bucks' top 5 players in the game this year. I don't have much of an issue with some of this. The gripes are going to come up, but I'll put a halt on that. I'll give Giannis his flowers first, because of course, Giannis is the 3rd best player in the game overall. Not that this should be shocking to anyone, tied with Jokic and Luka Doncic in the overall category. However, what really shocked me was that he was a complete overall better than Joel Embiid. The two really being the top 2 guys within the Eastern Conference, of course, skill-wise, talent-wise, and just kind of overall-wise within the NBA. Might I say, I'm kind of pointing all this out because NBA 2K is widely known within the NBA community as kind of, where are we looking at these players? How are we evaluating them, especially going into the season? And I thought that was very promising to see that it is widely known that Giannis is a little bit more skilled than Joel is. And really showing his dominance, being the 3rd best player within the league in the game, and of course being the best player within the East in the game. So that's a very fun sight. And of course, what would it be if we didn't break down all of Giannis's overalls since he started in being in this 2K game? Because of course this will pick back up a little bit later, but in this first game, NBA 2K14 being a 60 overall, going all the way from that to being a 97, being the third best player in the game, tied with almost being the first best player in the game, one of the best players in the NBA, really showing kind of the ladder that Giannis has had to climb, the ladder that he did climb, and proving that he has been one of the best players within the league basically since 2019, 2020. You see it right there, passing that 95 overall mark and getting to the point that he's at now. And I mean, of course, flowers to Giannis, commemorating Giannis, and there's no shock that he's going to be one of the best players within the NBA. But then you really get into something that I have a gripe with. We saw that 89 overall for Damian Lillard, dropping 5 points overall. Let's look at the rest of the point guards that are ahead of him, because this is just wow. Of course, Luka Doncic, SGA, Steph Curry. Those three being a baseline, I don't mind that. Okay, SGA was great at the end of the year, showed all year that he was an MVP candidate. Luka Doncic, we know, has been an MVP candidate. Steph Curry, best shooter to ever touch the ball. I don't have any issue with him being where he is. He's carrying that Warriors squad, and I feel bad for him being where he's at right now. But let's really talk about the next three. Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, Ja Morant. I don't know how you can at least put... I'll give Jalen Brunson a teeter-totter. We could have this debate, because Brunson finished out the season so strong. Was basically, the center point of the Knicks, and has become a very solid, valuable player. So I'll give that one a pass. But Tyrese Halliburton and Ja Morant, tell me what Ja Morant can do that Damian Lillard cannot. Damian Lillard, to me, better shooter, better playmaker. What can Ja Morant do better? Dunk the ball? Okay. How about we see him on the court too? That right there is just plain disrespectful. And Tyrese Halliburton, of course, again, another great promising year for the Pacers. But Tyrese Halliburton, I don't know how you can say he's stacked up better than Damian Lillard did, despite the fact that Damian Lillard played the end of that series on an injury. What did Tyrese Halliburton do to make you think that Damian Lillard is not a top 5 point guard within this league? Either. I wouldn't put him at 7. I would put him at 5 or 4, because I'll keep those top 3. I will keep those top 3. This is disrespectful. This is taking a jab at Damian Lillard, and we saw it. He dropped 5 overall points. That's disrespectful. And I don't understand that. Let's get into a little bit more of the disrespect. Gary Trent Jr., one of the newest additions, of course. Everyone's super, super excited for him to be in a Bucks uniform. We've said already he's going to be very valuable when it comes to the outside shooting. 54 overall on the defensive end. 54. Now, we saw there were low levels of defense within the entire league, within the entire overall rating system. 54 for Gary Trent Jr. Again, we've had this conversation. I don't think he's a stellar defender. I do think he's a solid above average defender. Maybe 65, maybe a 70, 54. I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't know if I'd say he's that bad. He's that unplayable, because he's not. He's going to be starting on this roster. That right there, more disrespect. More takeaway from the fact that maybe we should be looking at when they start upgrading these ratings. start taking a look at his defending. Because I think you'll be shocked what we get out of him this year. 25 years old. You'll be shocked when Gary Trent Jr. is as solid as he is on the defensive end. But giving some flowers on the defensive end. Let's head right to the steals. To another addition from this year. DeLon Wright being 5th in the steal overall category within NBA 2K. Now, we knew DeLon Wright was coming in for his defense in general. We knew we needed the defense. We knew that was why he was signed. He's kind of taking up the role that Patrick Beverley walked away from. DeLon Wright, giving you your flowers. We talked about it when you were signed. You're coming in for the steals. You're getting shown to the entire NBA that you are one of the best pickpockets in the league. Props to you. I can't wait to see it on the floor. And I'm very happy to see this. Very promising to see this. Finally, as I talked about before, Giannis' first overall within an NBA 2K game was a 60. Let's talk about this year's first round draft pick for the Bucks. AJ Johnson. He's 69 overall. At 30th on the rookie rankings. He's tied for the lowest grade, or the lowest rating of a first round drafted rookie. As you can see, 3 guys ahead of him, I should say, are not in the first round either. This is a little bit upsetting to me. I know at first, like a lot of people, was a bit hesitant on Johnson. I was not there to encourage what could have been or what we could have seen. Then I watched the Summer League. And I'm not saying the Summer League shows all or gives you path to all. What I am saying is the Summer League shows you the potential, the athleticism. I don't know if it showed me that AJ Johnson was the worst rookie in the first round or tied for one of the first rookies in the first round. You sure about that? I think there needs to be a reevaluation there. I think over the course of the season, as Johnson gets more time on the court, as we see more reps from him, that's going to be promising. We're going to be seeing more of AJ Johnson. We are going to see a boost in these ratings for all of you 2K players. But basically, back to where I started this. Why did we take a look at all these? Again, this is kind of something that is a big consensus in the NBA community now. That you might look at these ratings, see something that might be a little bit off. But overall, a lot of people use to judge where they think these players are going to be going into the season. After looking at a lot of that, you know my gripes. Damian Lillard is not the 7th best point guard in the league. He's a top 5 point guard. I will tell you that. I will see that this year. And that right there, disrespectful to think that 2K is not giving him those props or giving him that recognition. AJ Johnson. They clearly haven't seen him prove anything. That's fine. That's what the rookies are there to do. Prove. Same with Gary Trent Jr. Can't wait to see his defense hit the floor. Can't wait to see his defense boost up after he shows that he is a stellar defender. Not stellar. I'll take that word stellar back. That he is a solid defender. But most importantly, the Giannis has not missed a step. There has not been any sign. Of course, nobody's thought that. I'm not saying anyone has thought that. But just refreshing to see that a lot of people know the Greek Freak and the Milwaukee Bucks are coming for it all this season. Yet again. So don't sleep on the Bucks. Don't walk away from them. Because you'll see it soon. Let me know what you think of those NBA 2K ratings. What else they got right? What else they got wrong? comment down below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay locked here on Bucks Digest.